Hey guys, I'm back again with another long-play review for the AMSTRAD, this time for Infiltrator, the game that rocked America, apparently. Screams the box art, and it's gorgeous box art, and it totally sucked me in as a kid, and I parted my hard-earned pocket money. And to be honest, I was a little disappointed at the time, because I could barely get anywhere in the game without sort of crashing my helicopter. But it did seem good on the box art. I mean, on the back there, it's got screenshots for 3 different types of game. It looks like it had a sort of a flight simulator as well as sort of like action-based ground shoot 'em up type stuff. It's actually pretty much entirely a stealth 'em up. Here's your first mission. You've got to fly in secrecy to the base and then stealth around and photograph all the secret documents. And there are 3 missions in total. Each mission is split into 2 parts. The first part with you flying your chopper there, and then stealth them up as you sneak around the base and accomplish your mission. So here we are on the helicopter. Firstly, you've got to press B to turn your battery on, S to turn on the computer, and then I to turn on the ignition. So there's a lot of keys to remember. Anyway, we're watching that bottom left dial, which is our RPM indicator. And it gets above 2,340 RPMs, I believe it is. We can then take off, and you've got to pull back on your joystick and keep pulling back. If you let go, you'll crash and die instantly. And I could never even take off back in the day. So I thought years later I'd come back to the game, read the instructions properly this time, and see if I could crack it. So anyway, right, you press 3 to turn on your go-to computer. We get a status report, tells us everything's alright. We go back and have a look at the map. You look at the frequency at the bottom there, that was 72.8, that's where we need to head. So we go into our other computer by pressing 4, then A to enter the ADF frequency, or coordinates. And now we've got a direction we can follow by using that sort of plane symbol in the centre of your dashboard there. As long as it's pointing up, we're going in the right way. You press T to turn a turbo on there, but you've got to watch your oil overheating there in the top right corner of the screen. And I think we're going to have a first encounter with a plane, and we're going to work out if he's a friend or foe. So before they can send us a message asking us what's our ID, we send it first, and they tell us that, and he tells us their name. So Seth, we know he's a friend of ours, so we send them our name of Infiltrator. And if it's an enemy plane, then we send Overlord, and they'll let us pass each time. Oh, we've seen our oil's overheating there, so we need to press T to turn off our turbo. We've got to watch the battery in the top left corner there. When you're going at top speed, the battery starts overheating as well. Okay, we've got another plane, request ID. Get in there first before they send their request. Hamish, he's a friend of ours, so we send him Infiltrator. Sadly though, I mean, if you get it wrong, he's actually a friend of ours and he starts attacking you, then you've got no choice but to basically shoot down your own planes. But we can get through this because I know all the names of the enemies and the friends. You can find the list of names on the internet, like on the CPC Power website, linked down below in the description. So we've got another plane. See who this dude is. Naples. I believe he's a friend of ours. Do you know what, fuck it, I think the next one that turns out to be an enemy, we'll engage them in combat and I'll show you how the missile system works and how you defend yourself against their missiles. Oh, blown a bit off course there. See where we are, about halfway there. Got to watch our oil overheating there, so turn off our turbo. Alright, let's see who this douchebag is. Boomer. Now he's a bad guy. We didn't reply in time, so die capitalist traitor dog. So he's going to fire a missile at us. H for heat seeker is lit up there, so we need to drop a flare by pressing F, and we've got rid of his missile. So H for heads up display there, and then press M to set your homing missile, and then press your fire button, and he's a goner. Pretty cool. You don't even have to have him in your sights to fire your homing missile, as long as he's in front of you. Obviously the missile will lock on and destroy him. I think you have your guns and cannons as well you can use if you run out of missiles, because you've only got 3 or 4 missiles per mission. But there you go. Once you know all the names though, I mean it's gets a little bit tedious, because then you just got to get to there and just send off your name each time. Rambo, he's a bad guy, so you send the code name of Overlord, and he will let you pass. And there you go. So yeah, as I was saying, this game's broken up into about 3 different missions. I originally had this video all in one go, with all the missions in one video, but it was over an hour and a half long. So I've split this into 3 parts. Oh right, okay, that is now flashing in the centre of my console there, which means I've arrived and above my destination. So we'll reduce our speed. First got to deal with this dude. Whipple, think he's a good guy. So what I need to do is just get down to reduce your altitude to just above 200. Before you go below 200, you need to turn whisper mode on by pressing W, which makes your helicopter silent and invisible to radar. Otherwise they'll notice you and they'll shoot you down. So go to about don't go below 45 on your altitude. But now all we're going to do is basically steady the helicopter so the horizon's completely sort of level. It takes a little bit of doing, but as soon as you get it level, quickly descend, but when it gets about sort of 15 or 10, do it in slow bits, otherwise you're going to go crashing into the ground. Probably landing's probably the hardest part of this game, after you've worked out who your friends and enemies are. Okay, shouldn't take long. Nearly there. Almost there. There we go. Quick, get down. Do it slowly from now. 10, 5, and we've landed. Hurrah! Right, on to the ground mission. And as you remember there, we've got to sneak around the base and basically photograph all the secret documents. So first we'll select our mine detector and we'll search for hidden mines around the area. Actually on the first 2 missions I don't think there are any mines to worry about. There's the enemy base. It's rather sort of simple and crudely presented. But anyway, you come across these guys, they're going to ask you to show your papers, so we'll have a paper selected. He thinks the papers are in order, so we can pass and move on. But what we need to do is go to the furthest building away from us. More often than not, you need to get to the furthest building away to start off with. He didn't think our papers were in order, so we selected basically a gas spray there and knocked him out. Don't worry, when he wakes up he won't remember anything. He just needs to get off the screen before he does wake up. Show him our papers. Papers are not in order, so we spray him with gas and knock him out. You don't actually kill anyone in this mission because you've got to sort of stealth around the base. And here we are, we've entered a building and we'll go in the lift. And this turns into sort of a kind of a cross between Mission Impossible, Impossible Mission, and the like the second level of View to a Kill. Got to go around and search rooms. Gone in there, found a bottle of vodka hidden there. There are enemies on most screens. Again, you've got to show him your papers. He reckons they're not in order, so we get some sleeping gas on his ass. Now what you need to do, we started off in this building, which is the furthest one away. We need to find the security card and then find the security console to basically open all the security doors which are currently locked before you can get anywhere, and photograph the secret documents in the locked rooms. Now this room here, when you see rooms like this, this is basically an ammo supply, and it's got about it'll have 3 gas grenades there. So we gas that dude, grab as many grenades as we can, and move on. Believe me, you need to stockpile your gas grenades because you'll need them. Not in this first mission so much. Sometimes you can sneak out a room before the guard then notices you and asks for your papers. Ah, here we are. This is the first room we needed to find, which has a security pass guard. Hurrah! Now, also in this building, there is a janitor's uniform you can pick up, which will basically allow you to sort of like move around rooms without the guards bothering you, unless they get really close to you and bump into you, which they'll ask to see your papers, at which point they will always decide that you don't look like a janitor and you've got a few seconds to gas them. So you want to try, if you do get the janitor's uniform, you'll make the game a hell of a lot easier. However, don't bump into anyone, otherwise you'll get found out. It's quite hard to do on the outside of the base because there's enemies placed where you're going to need to sort of walk by them. And here's the janitor's uniform. As you can see there, it says that we're now wearing a janitor's uniform. Awesome. We can now sneak around, and we can also search in rooms where guards are as well. If you search items in a room where a guard is without the janitor's uniform, they'll get suspicious and sound the alarm. See, he bumped into me there. Even though I had the right papers and all that, he decided he didn't look like a janitor, so we had to gas him. We had no option. And if they do catch you and set the alarm off, the alarm will ring, and obviously guards will home in on you rather quickly wherever you are. But you can find the alarm key and take it to the alarm room and turn off the alarms once. But obviously it's probably in another building miles away, so we want to avoid setting the alarm off. They'll also set the alarm off if they have to see your papers and you run out the room. The alarm will be activated as well. Right, okay, so we got the security card. We need to go to the next building there, which has the security room. We had no choice but bump into that guy, so we had to gas him. Right, okay. There should be, I think the alarm room's in this building as well, and I think there is an alarm key here somewhere. Oop. You want to obviously avoid bumping into them. Yeah, you got a gas grenade there. Well, okay, I'll have to say that, you know, the presentation of these levels is rather sort of crude. It's done in sort of 4-colour graphics, unfortunately. And I don't like the sort of animation of the sprites there. Looks like he's got disembodied legs. So I'd imagine it's probably... Oh, got the electronic key there. That will turn off the alarm system if we need to. But I can imagine anyway, going back to what I was saying, this is probably cross-ported with the Spectrum version at the same time, save time. So originally the game was for the Commodore 64 by a guy called Chris Gray, and later ported to, I believe, well, obviously Amstrad Spectrum, but the NES also got a version which was quite popular apparently. I think the Atari 8-bits, the Apple II got a version, and I think there was even one released for PC-DOS as well. But I have to say, the presentation on the Commodore 64 version is much better. They've got lovely, colourful graphics. And as you know, the AMSTRAD's capable of lovely colourful graphics itself, but we're stuck with rather drab sort of greys and blues, unfortunately, for this. The sound effects are adequate, but there's no music. Anyway, here we are in the security room. We're going to insert our card into the slot there in the wall. You don't need to do anything apart from just walk up to it. Oh yeah, you can only search for items on the top of the wall there. Chairs you can't search, but filing cabinets you can. That's a uniform hanging up there. You can change your uniform if you want to, but I'd stick in the janitor's uniform. But the janitor's uniform is probably the first thing you need to find for each mission. Could have done with some suspenseful music though. Something dramatic and stealthy to match the game, like the Impossible mission music. That would have been pretty cool to rip off. Oh well. Obviously you got a clock there counting down 10 minutes. Actually translates to about sort of 20 minutes roughly in real time. But we've got everything we need in this building, so let's move on. And we can move on to the final sort of 3 buildings we first encountered, which is where the secret documents are. So we'll start with this one. That just has one room of documents to photo. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't sit here playing this for days and days, working out which rooms and I need to go to and drawing maps. There's maps already available online, again on the CPC Power website, link down below. I think this map, the map I was using, is actually taken from the Spectrum version, which is pretty much identical for each mission. Apart from the alarm keys, sometimes are placed a little bit differently, but everything else is in place. Anyway, here's one of the rooms where the secret documents are. So all we need to do is select our camera there, take one photo, job done. That's the first secret document room done. And we can leave this building. I think there's another alarm. I think there's another alarm room in the top left of this building, if we need to turn off the alarm. But yeah, the layout of the buildings and rooms are pretty much identical between the Spectrum and Commodore and AMSTRAD versions, which is quite handy from what I've seen. I've not seen the Spectrum version running. I can't find a YouTube video of it to see, just to compare like graphics and stuff. But I know obviously the layout's the same because I'm using the Spectrum map. Right, 2 more buildings on this mission. Can't avoid that guy, so we need to gas him. And we should be able to... Sometimes you can sneak in past him if he's looking the other direction. Right, so on this one, there's only one room of secret documents. That's in the top right of the building. Wait for him to move and see what we can find here. Some useless files. Most of the time there's just useless crap like vodka, files, chewing gum sometimes find, and a dismembered body in a filing cabinet. Nice. Ammo room. So we're going to stock up on gas grenades. We're doing quite well already, so we probably don't need them all, but just for the sake of completion on this video, I'm going to show you where all the ammo rooms are, and just to help you out. Some cigarettes. No use to us in this mission. Or any, of course. More ciggies. Hey, gas grenade, nice. So we've got plenty of gas grenades now. I don't know why I keep selecting to use my papers on this mission. I'd only played it a few times. I hadn't worked out at the time that the janitor's uniform, even with the papers, you'll always get hassled by them. So I might as well just stuck with selecting the gas spray or gas grenades, because if they stop you, they're always going to identify you as not being a janitor. So apologies for that. Right, so the room we need to go to should be the top right here. Here it is. I'm going to gas that dude. Don't take a photo, obviously while he's still awake. You'll set the alarm off. Oh yeah, the difference between gas grenades and your gas spray is if you drop a grenade, it will take out the entire room. With the gas spray, they need to be right next to you. Otherwise you'll miss and, you know, waste an item. Selected papers again there when I just didn't really need it. Oops. I think I was hoping that occasionally they would not bother me, but no, every time as a janitor, if they stop you, papers won't do anything for you. So we've done in that building. We'll get out of here. I'm not sure if I will do massive commentaries on the next two parts. We're getting near to the end of the first mission, so I'll just kind of sum up a little bit of a review here. I didn't like the game at the time because I kept crashing the bloody helicopter. Couldn't even take off most of the times. Now I've sat down and read the instructions, which are quite hefty. There's a lot of keys to remember. No, I actually started quite enjoying this. I guess the enjoyment's kind of ruined because I knew all the enemy and friendly names on the first mission, so it becomes a bit tedious and a bit of a chore. But you know, this is 1986. I think there's they've tried to make a really sort of epic big game here, with lots of things to do, and quite ambitious. So I do appreciate that. The execution of it is not bad. It's just not particularly exciting, and I'm sure it's probably not particularly exciting to watch either. But you know, for its time, it's actually kind of stands up pretty well. Cross between Impossible Mission and Metal Gear, and elements of like the second part of View to a Kill, if you remember that Longplay, that James Bond game, and you're running around City Hall. But I did get pretty involved with the game. It suckered me in. But you know, unfortunately, sort of the graphics a little bit sort of bland and grey. It's not particularly done that well. But for what it is, it plays all right. So I'd give this 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7. Thankfully the next two missions get a little bit more exciting. I think the next one you have to rescue a doctor that's imprisoned, and yeah, you can turn him invisible using one of his own experiments, and then you've got to set some explosives and blow up his lab. And then the final mission is you're blowing up all the buildings. Sounds cool, but it's not particularly spectacular. You don't see any sort of fireworks or anything like that. So yeah, not a particularly exciting game. And I suppose if you've never played this before, I doubt you'd probably watch the next two parts, but anyone that's struggled with this game and wondered what you need to do, well, I'm going to obviously decide to do a long play, and let's complete this and show you where you need to go. It's long been a mission of my own to do this game, so I've done it at last. Right, there's another map room just up here, and the third and final room we need to go to in the top right. So we'll gas that dude, take a photo, and we've got one more to do. Just seeing if there's any more gas grenades. I really don't need any more this time, but I think the items are always in the same locations each time you play. So if any of you get stuck and need more gas grenades, you'll see where I've found them at least. Okay, we're coming up to our final room. Take the last photo, and then we've got to escape back to our chopper. Gas this dude. Last photo. Hopefully you will see a mission complete message. There it is, mission complete, at the bottom of the screen there. So we've just got to leg it back to the chopper. Yeah, oops, I kind of realised there was a quicker way back to the lift and exit. Should have gone right. Might as well and see if there's anything else available. Change the uniform there, but we're still wearing a janitor's uniform. You always seem to stick with the janitor's uniform once you found it. I've tried to change the uniform several times just to test or whatever, and you always seem to stick with the janitor's uniform. So I don't know whether that's a bug in the game or not. Try changing again, and we're still wearing the janitor's uniform, so don't know if that's a fault in the game or not, or a bug. Yay, another gas grenade. There's millions of them by now. Make sure you've got gas grenades selected, because you'll need them to get past these guys. Bye bye and good night. And that's it, we're at the base. Switch on your mine detector just in case. Nearly at the chopper. And there we go. We've done it. Alright, see you in the next part. Cheers.